Courtney, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia, and I'm here with Hooray It's Thursday live. Today I'm going to revisit the annual catalogue, and I'm going to do a card for the guys. I'm going to case the catalogue a little, so I'll show you what I'm up to. I hope you're all well. We've been rather busy, but we've all been well here, so well, let's see how we get going. We're going to use Sailing Home and Enjoy the Moment, which are two stamp sets from the annual catalogue. I've got the coordinating smooth sailing bundle, the smooth sailing dies that go with that to have a play. So let me get started. I'm going to turn this around just so that you can see, because I haven't got up to the stage where I can do it all in one go. So I'll press this magic button and away we go. You can see my husband's beautiful fence coming along there. Well, he was working on that, making a racket the other week, but that's all right. It's getting there. So here's all my goodies on my table, all set up. Sorry about if that's making anyone a bit squishy in the tummy. Hopefully we're in the right spot. Okay, so what I've got here, I'll just mute my computer off so I can see any comments as they come through. I've been looking through the catalogue just because I wanted to revisit it. It's been a while since I've played with some stuff from the annual, and I keep forgetting that, you know, we do have this wonderful big, thick, like, look at it, big, thick catalogue that we can play with. I know that Celebration's on. I know that we've got the new seasonal catalogue mini to go with it, but I just thought I'd revisit this because there's some beautiful stamps in here and they often get neglected for what the new is. So hi Sharon, how you going? Hope all's good at your end of the country, all the way up there. So I've got my blending brushes ready. I'm looking at this card here. Okay, I'm thinking that I need to make some male birthday cards because it's been a while since I've done them. This set would be perfect, but you know what? I'm only going to pluck out the little happy birthday out of it. Side of that, we're going to be playing with the Sailing Home set. It does have some coordinating smooth sailing dies, and which I saw that and I thought, oh, I really like that. I like how they've done that. Oh, hold on a second. I really like that. And so I thought, no, just go, let's play with this. I'll show you how this is done. Okay. Hi, Cheryl. How are you going? It's good to see a couple of people online watching. Oh, so I'll just pop that to the side. So if you've got an annual catalogue and want to have a look, the technique, you'll see there's a little bit of it on page 26. So I've got my Sailing Home stamp set, my Enjoy the Moment stamp set, and my smooth sailing dies. I do this with a lot of my dies. I'm not sure if some of you would have seen it before. I know that Cheryl has seen it because she comes to my classes. There's another one on this weekend. I'm actually going to pull out, I'm going to use the little anchor, and I'm thinking, oh no, I forgot to get my, I'm not going to use that because I didn't pull over my, I was going to pull over some mint macaron, but I'll see. I might need it, I might not. But I am going to definitely use the anchor, and I'm going to use it with the copper. So the copper foil, I've just got a piece of that. So what I've got here is some Misty Moonlight cardstock. I've got this piece of designer series paper, which I'm not sure how easy that is to see on screen. It's got some fern leaves and whatnot on it, which we're just going to make work. That's just the way it goes. It's from the pattern play that's the host designer series paper in the back of the catalogue. So if you are hosting a workshop, if you want to host a workshop, or if you just want to pop an order in over $250, you'll be eligible for that, to be able to purchase that designer series paper, which is really good. You get lots. You get 4 sheets of each piece, and there's quite a few pieces. The ones on the back are black and white, and all the other side of them coloured and patterned, and they're really quite fun. So unlike normal, I'm actually going to be doing a landscape card. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but predominantly I do portrait cards. But this one, because in the catalogue it's landscape, I'm going to stick with the landscape card. So, and I'm going to pop this guy on here. I have a piece of basic white to go on here. And looking at my catalogue, it shows me what I need to do. They've torn a piece of our grid paper and used that as an edge. Okay, so I brought over some of my old washi tape so that I can do that to stick it down. I've got some spare bits of, that feels like thick whisper white or basic white, so that I can cut out my sentiments and things. But let's see how we go. So, oh, you don't need that piece at the moment. I need some stamps. That's what I need. Where did I put them? Here they are. Okay. So I know that I'm going to need my Lighthouse because that's actually going to be my feature one. So I've got my nice big eye block here. So I'll just pop that guy on there. And I'm thinking in my background, I'd like, do I want boats? Do I want the, well, they'll be too crowded if there's too many boats. These, actually all of them would work. But I'm thinking I might do the, what would you call that? It does have a name. Compass. I couldn't think for a moment there. Don't mind me. Okay. Doesn't matter which way up it goes because it's not going to matter to me. Should we throw a few birds in for good measure? Why not, hey? Just because we can. Oops. And I'm going to stamp them in the Misty Moonlight. Now, to set this up, okay, somewhere here I put a strip of paper. That is only just going to be big enough. So that's all it needs to be. Whoops. So I've just torn that. It's got a bit, how's your father there? And I do have a little piece. I found that I've been going through so much of this paper. I'm going to try and keep that one a little bit clean, for want of a better way of putting it. So I'm just going to stick that there. This is just a little bit of old washi tape that I've got. I'm sure that I'm not the only crafter with heaps of bits of washi tape. And so that I get, oh, hello, lots of people here today. So nice to see everyone. So that I get, so stay on track, Courtney. So, so that I get a fairly even space on the bottom and the top, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If I go in 4 of each, approximately 1, 2, 3, that's going to give me a relatively big gap in the middle and a littleish gap at the top. So I actually think I like that. I'm not sure I like that. It was a bit too pointy. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to line up those dots there, and I'm going to just tape this bit down here. Okay, and then just so that, because I can, because it was getting my way up the top, I'm going to tape those bits so that those lines match up as well. So that will give me a bit of a white edge, but not really. I'm actually going to tape this bit here that I pulled a bit too hard on. Okay, so it's all taped to my bit of paper. I don't want it to go anywhere. I've got a few colours here, but I am going to stamp in Misty Moonlight, in the Misty Moonlight. I'm thinking that they'll actually be quite nice. And we'll see how we go with throwing a few birds in for good measure. All right. So we don't want it too don't want it to look like I've deliberately done a pattern. If you understand what I mean. Probably too much now. But if we throw a couple of birds in, or bits of birds, I hope they still look like birds when you're on the other side. Birds will be good for the envelope anyway. There is such thing as doing too much. Okay, so we'll leave that like that. And on our sample in the catalogue, they've used some soft suede and they've used some mint macaron or soft succulent. So I bought both of them over just because I'm thinking that I might prefer the mint macaron, which I'm going to do first. So using my blending brush, putting a little bit of ink on the blending brush, I'll just start off just to make sure that's actually the colour that I want. Just do a little bit of blending over that edge. Try not to drag it this way over the edge because you'll find then this paper will move. Well, that one's a bit dark there, but that's all right. Because we essentially don't want it to move. We just want it to be a little bit pretty. So there's a little bit of that on there. Pop a little bit of soft suede. Now, I might just use that brush. You can wash these brushes, but you need to allow lots and lots of time for them to dry because they take ages and ages to dry. Has anyone successfully washed them and they come up like they're brand new. The colours will stain. I haven't put them in the washing machine like I do my my daubers and my sponges and all those sorts of things. I think a little bit of my granny apple green from last time's coming through with this soft suede, but that's okay. I still think it's going to look pretty cool. And although we've got little leaves and stuff on my designer series paper, I actually don't think it's going to matter. This is a bit of a slowish process because I'm actually being a bit neurotic. I don't want to put too much on because you can't take it off. And I think we'll just use a little bit of Misty Moonlight along the edges. What do you reckon? Just to give it a little bit of blue in there. So these are really good fun to play with. Has everyone had a play? I know that, looking at that, I know that Cheryl has. And I know that Donna has because I've seen her do some stuff with them. And I know that Sharon has. So seeing all those people that are hanging out with me, I reckon they could all say that they've done it. You right there? I think my pup's got an itch here. She's just having a nice old scratch. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. All ready for the big reveal? Yeah, I love the blending brushes as well. I think they are one of my favourite tools. Okay. What does everyone think? I think that looks pretty smick if you do ask to say so, if I do say so myself. I'm very happy with that. Oh, there's my envelope and my card inside. So that's going to sit there like that. And that's going to sit on there like so. We can actually tape them down. So where is my tape hiding? Oh, I'm going to use glue because I like glue. Hey, they look good on that side too. Oh, come on, turn over. Oh, looks good on that side as well. No, stick to the original. Just put put this down before I change my mind, hey? And a bit of adhesive, just a little bit. Less is best. Does look very cool, Cheryl. Guess what you're doing on the weekend when you come to class? This is going to be one of my class cards for my Stamper Stack this weekend. So all those people that are coming are getting a bit of a sneaky peek. Me and Cheryl, I expect you to know what you're going to be doing, I could say. And I'm going to stick that down as well, because this is going to be my flat bits and the next bits are going to be raised. I do love Stamp and Seal, but this is so much quicker. Oh look, all of my hands on my compasses are all facing the same way. I usually try not to do that. Note for next time. Oh gosh, I really like how that's turned out. And I'm using the lines on my grid paper here to make sure it's straight. Okay. Yes, definitely, Cheryl, if you get an earlier appointment. Whilst I've got that like that, I will stamp this because I'm very good at then turning this around and stamping it to match, but it doesn't really match if I do it that way. So I'm going to put my bit of paper back down underneath me. I might get 2 videos out of this piece. And look, I've turned it around. They do have the symbols. East and west are really easy to see. North and south not so, because the little hands are actually covering it. And I love these little birdies. They look so cute. Right, that's the card inside. Let's pop that up there. And we'll just put a compass on the envelope. Could stick some birdies on the back if you wanted to. You could stick some birdies on the front too, but I'm just going to pop that on there. Okay, I'm going to close that up and you watch. I'm going to open it back up in a second. So that's my card front, my card inside. Now we're going to turn it, add some layers, I think. So I'll just stick this guy in here so it's all together. And I've got to hold my tongue right because my grid paper's not straight here. There you go. Card inside in. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now I need another piece of white. That's a big whopping great big piece. Where's a smaller piece? Because I don't need to use a bigger piece. Because I need, you can ditch that. I need a lighthouse. So I'm going to do my lighthouse in my Misty Moonlight. And then I'm going to cut it out on my Stampin' Cut. Okay. One pretty little lighthouse. Close you up. All right, let's make some room. Bring this baby in. This fits in the mini, but the mini is in the drawer. So, making the sandwich, and I could have got the mini out, but I've got new plates for this. So, and I like to cut the foil with new plates. So I'm going to cut this one. So I'll pop out my smooth sailing dies, which aren't in any great order in here. They're just literally chucked in. I can't see that. I make some room. How's that? Is that a bit better? Pop that guy in there. I am going to stick it on with a little bit of washi because my plates have got a bit of a bow in them. And then just going to stick a little bit of washi there, just because I can. And because I'm really good at wiggling it as I go through. Oops, throwing things around over the back there. Nice and bumpy for you up there. Perfect. That looks good, if I do say so myself. Then I would like this guy. And I think, no, that's all I want at the moment. Pop these other ones away. I'll get out one of my new plates. Otherwise the foil gets marked. It shouldn't make too much difference with such a little die, but when I do cut foil, I like to use, if I've got them available, I like to use a new plate. So since I do, you just get a better, otherwise this transfers to the foil. I don't need all of it to go through, I just need a little bit. And I move my die around on my plate. Oh, don't want to put that one in. Just told you I had a new one. Look at how good does that look. Something special about that, isn't there? Everyone probably thinks I'm mad, but anyway. Look, you can see it, and through it goes. Come back to me just because you can. See, and normally you would get all the little prints. Got an anchor on it now. You would normally get all the little prints off here onto your foil, but you don't. So I'll just pop that out. Pop this baby back down here. Oh, and I've left my brush over there. I don't think I've even got, oh, I do have my take your pick tool. So I don't need it, but I can push out that bit and that bit with it. That should go. Okie dokie. Oh, I am seriously thinking that I do need I think I do need some mint macaron cardstock just to do. Hold tight, everyone. Talk amongst yourselves. I didn't realize to put the shiny side up. Oh, okay. Yep, cutting foil always goes shiny side up. Well, you don't have to. You can put it both ways. It just depends on what image you want to get. Because sometimes it's not facing the right way, and if you put it up the other way, you're going to get a reverse image, if that makes sense. So you get like the mirror image. So I just grabbed some mint macaron. These are all really big pieces. I don't think I've got any squidgy little bits in here. I don't, but I need some squidgy little bits. Okay. It's very full, isn't it? So let's grab the trimmer. Last week's video, I finished the other cards. For those that were watching last week, I finished the other cards. They're going to land on my blog this afternoon. I just hadn't had a chance before then. I've been working a whole heap of extra shifts. Right, so I'll just get a little piece of that because I think I need some weeds. All right. We can go back over there. Weeds, you hear me say. And when I'm talking weeds, I'm talking, there's some reeds. And I think I need 2 of these. Okay, for what I want to do. And that, I'm not worried here, I'm going to use my old one because the texture is not going to worry me. There's something loved about these old plates. Got just about every colour jammed into them. So I think I might have 2 of these, because then I can play a bit better. Not that we're under the sea at the moment. We're actually on top of it, but that's all right. Okay. I think I might have jiggled it. That's right, there's plenty there. I know I'm jiggling the camera around. Yeah, I think I did jiggle it a bit. But you know what? I actually don't think that's going to be a problem. See, I've cut that off there. But since I've got 2, I don't need you here. Bring this back in. I've also got, that I'm going to use, is some of this. It's from the Flowers for Every Season combination pack in the annual. There's some baker's twine, there's some silver in it. Oh, look, there's children home. They're going to make a racket. All right. And I've got, yeah, it's got some Misty Moonlight, a thread, a white thread, and a silver thread, which doesn't really go with my copper, but I'm okay with that. You can pull them apart. All right. So, oh, okay. This is the one that's got the dud leaves. You wouldn't even, the dud bit of weed, but you wouldn't even realise it. So if I stick you here and you here.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, sweetheart.
Our mailbox is down.
I know, I broke the mailbox this morning. Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking I don't want all of that weed. So let's keep the good weed. Good bit of weed. Because you're going to sit on here. You can barely see the reeds. You're going to sit on here. And then I'm thinking I want that one to come out the side. So I'm feeling brave. Let's just chop it off. We can always cut another one, can't we? So you're going to sit under there. And see, I've turned it over. Now, it is a little bit textured on that side, but that's all right. That's going to sit there like so. And we'll put our sentiment across the bottom here. I'm thinking that's starting to look really good. Now, when it comes to the sentiment, there is a really cute little die that's got stitching around it, but my happy birthday won't fit for that one. And this stamp set doesn't have a happy birthday. It has some really positive things that you could tell, like I'd tell my husband and all that sort of stuff, but not, you know, a friend down the street, or like, this is a good one. Set sail in the direction of your dreams if someone was resigning or retiring or going on to a new job. Thanks and congrats are always good. You are my true north. The only person I'd probably say that to would be my husband. And I'm not sure that I would use that sentiment unless I was doing a scrapbook page or something like that. But you never know. So we'll see. Maybe at another time. If I wanted to, and I will do, I'll bring back my scrap because I just wasn't sure. You could put a bit of sand for say, actually there might still be enough on here just to give that a little bit of colour. Don't want to go too far up. Okay, and because a lot of lighthouses, you know how they're 2 colours? They've often got a colour, they're usually white from here up, Sometimes they've got a different colour up the top, but this part here is usually white from what I've seen, or a very palish blue. But the bottoms are often a different colour, like a blue. So if I just give that bottom bit there a little bit of colour. See, you can be really subtle with these brushes. They are fairly big, but you can be quite subtle with them. So it looks like it's just got a bit of a shadow on it. And you could put a little bit of a shadow up one side, you know, because the light's coming from this side today. Okay, how's that? Oh, I think I'm going to stamp my birthday sentiment in soft suede, to tell you the honest truth, just because I can. Oh yeah, I like that. I was nervous I was going to have to cut another one. Okay, so now I don't know about all of you guys, but this is, I have an aversion to throwing a lot of things away. Just put that in there. So I have some offcuts. Does everybody have an offcut drawer? This proved really useful when you couldn't get any basic white. It was on a slow boat on its way here. So this proved very useful at that time. But I keep all of my offcuts. I don't know if you saw my scrapbook page from last week. I used a whole heap of Christmas offcuts for the scrapbook page. But these little pieces here are great for sentiments. And you end up with heaps of them when you're cutting. If you're like me and you cut your card inside so that you end up with a big pile, like so, you end up with all these strips of extra bits of white. And I keep them, and they're like, if I'm going away, I'll cut out a whole heap of maybe these bits here, so that I can just stamp the little sentiments on them. But yeah, they're just really handy. So you don't have to throw anything away, essentially. Does that sound really bad? Now, here is my, I don't throw a lot of paper away. A little note will fit on here, as will my happy birthday, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that's just over a centimetre. I'm a bit slack. Yes, I've used one stamp in here, and it's the happy birthday. I should pull out the whole set and use it, because it's actually a really nice set. But you know how you just get those one stamp that you really, really love? All right, which one's going to make my fingers the least messy? This one here. You can hop off there and let me have that. So yeah, so I've just got this one stamp that I really love. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut it in a variety of colours, and you'll see that fits perfectly on there. These ones are too big, and I think I've got some even skinnier ones in here somewhere, but that I know are way too skinny, so I'm not even going to bother pulling them out. So we'll start with the soft suede one. Hold your head right, hold your tongue right, stamp it down, tell it how wonderful it is. Not bad, if I do say so myself. And I think I need to do a Misty Moonlight one, so that we can see a comparison of which colour we prefer. What do you reckon? Who wants to guess which colour I'm going to pick in the end? It wobbled. Misty Moonlight one. I think there's a hair on my stamp, on my pad. Okay. I'll put it down this end, because then I can cut it easier. I love it when the stamp's actually in a good spot on here. It's actually lined up with that bottom line beautifully. Okay, they both look good. I think they'll both work. Okay, so I'm actually just going to go like so, and like that. There's that one. Probably could have done this on a skinnier piece. I'm looking at it now thinking that. And this one here, let's flag this one. So when I do a flag, probably too far away, yep, too far away, cut off a little bit more. When I do a flag, if I'm not using a punch, which quite frequently I do because the corner of a squarish punch of any description works beautifully, I cut a strip into the split into the middle, and then I line up my corner to that middle piece and my corner to that middle piece, and by rights I should get a fairly even, decent looking flag. And that's the winner. Okay. All right. So let's stick this baby together. And look, the guys like gems. They also like trim. If I wanted to, I could pull the silver out, but I think the silver will be fine. We do have silver foil at the moment. It comes in a pack of 3 different styles. The brush silver would have looked really nice as well, but I just really like the copper. It stands out quite beautifully. We used to have a nice copper thread that I liked that did the same thing. But where I'm working at the moment, where the doctors are, there's a lot of male doctors and I don't have a lot of male cards. So I need to get a bit of variety happening, which will be good because, you know, we've all got like men in our lives that need cards. So why not? Okay. Now I could just go like, got to make sure that works on the correct angle. I really think it needs to go like that. Yeah. But I might just put a bit of, I didn't do it on the other one. And I can't now because I've already put stuff under it, but I can because I didn't put glue all the way up. Just put a bit on there. Just gives it a little bit of a highlight, but I don't want to get it on the rest of it. Oh, and I put it on the wrong side on this one. I put it on that smooth side. It needs to be on the dark side, on the rough side, sorry, because I'm going to use the rough side. I didn't add any extra ink. It still you can see it still keeps going. You can use a microfiber cloth. Will take quite a lot of the ink out. And this is where I find glue to be so much better than the roller, because you can actually be a little bit picky with where you put it. I'll just lay that there so I can work out where this is going to go. And that's about there. Okay, so this guy's going to get some dimensionals under him. Let's use it. We all use the spare bits around the edge, don't we? I hope so. Because they're dimensionals too. And they work just the same as the other bits, if not better, because look at that, you can just go straight down the side. And that's probably a bit excessive, but you know what? It's not going to go anywhere, is it? Okay, so we'll pop that one on there. And that one's going to go on there, but we're going to tie a bow. Yes, I'm going to tie a bow on a bloke card. Another way that I do bows, so flowers for every season combination pack. This is another way I do bows. 2 bunny ears and just tie it over the top. Tuck it in, send it through and pull it. And the reason why I'm tying a bow on this one is because I'm going to actually put the bow underneath thinking that needs to go underneath there, and that can go on top of it, so that it doesn't really look like a bow as such. Just looks like a bit of fibre under there, because there's something special about fibre. I always say that. Somewhere I've got some glue dots, I thought. I do, see. And trim that there. Okay, so we'll put a bow on a glue dot. So I've just stuck that on the glue dot, peel it off with the glue dot attached, and I'm actually going to stick that under there, and then this guy is going to stick on top of it, just so there's fibre under it. Now, looking at where it's sitting, I'm going to put glue dots along in underneath here. Or I could put glue and then just stick something hard on it. Choice is yours. But I'm going to use glue dots just because I can. So now you'll notice that they sort of stick out a bit. Just a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. So there's one. There's two. And I probably will need the third one, just so that it doesn't move, because that ribbon's under there. So that's, well, I didn't do that very good. I stuck two on top of each other. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck them in, just where they overlap the edge, just using my tool. I want to stick another one in the middle there. Didn't realise I skipped one. So I'll just tuck it over the edge, because it's sticking out over the edge, and I don't want it to stick to my envelope. Okay. I could cut a little tiny piece of dimensional, but I don't really need to if I've got glue dots doing their job and not sticking to fibre. So these three here have got the glue dots on them. Okay. Then this baby is going to go over here. Now, because there's dimensionals under this bit, there's going to need to be dimensionals under that bit. So I will actually have to find, there's one on that one. That's not going to be any use to me. I've got heaps and heaps of that. Here's some here. This one must have come out of kit because it's a bit bigger than everybody else. So I'm going to put, and I'm thinking it's going to need two, one on top of the other. Yeah, because it's still quite, although maybe not. Yeah, I think it does actually. So it's going to need two. All right. So put two on top of one on top of the other, just to give it extra height. Try it before I stick it down. And I made it too tall now. But you get that. Okay. The other ones are just the same height. So because of what I've done, if I wanted to, which I am going to do, I'm going to glue a couple of these little squidgy bits in here that I cut off. And that's just going to give that bit there a little bit of extra height that's not as high as a dimensional. This, because I just need that, I don't know, half a dimensional thick. It doesn't need to be a whole dimensional thick. Look, I could have put the sentiment over there, but I like clusters. Anybody else like clusters? Right, so now I'll put a bit of adhesive on there. Line my lid. Now that is going to stick and work perfectly, but I just need to line it up so that that sentiment is straight. Okay, how's that? Looks good. Hop down there. Probably still not tall enough. Those glue dots are very tall. Not glue dots, dimensionals. I could probably get away with another piece of cardstock underneath, just because it's not really sitting as flat as I'd like it. It's still sticking up at this end. So if I'm quick enough, you know, we've got to make do of these things. So I didn't want it as thick as a glue dot, but I didn't want it not. What is it about glue dots, man? Didn't want it as thick as a dimensional because of all the height I already had. That's better. Now, if you've got some bling, like I said, the blokes like bling as well. And I've got these little silver pearls. And, you know, you get pearls in the ocean. Why not, eh? So at the moment, with Celebration, you're getting free goodies. All of the Celebration products are available now. Should we put a pearl there? Yeah. There's very few things that are out of stock now. So my suggestion is that you get them while they're available, because we don't know when the next shipment's coming in. I do like threes. Don't want it to do the same as that one. Let's put it over here. How's that? So I've got just about every colour in there. What do you think? Looks good, doesn't it? So I've got some silver, I've got some copper, I've got some gold. Mainly got silver, copper and gold. No gold, but I've got some bronzy colour that goes with my copper quite nicely. So there you have one greeting card for the blokes. There's the envelope. You can put a sentiment on the inside if you want. I have a tendency to like to write in the inside of mine, so I don't put sentiments. I really like that technique. That was fun. So the technique I found on page 26 of the catalogue, the annual catalogue, like I said earlier, although we've got the Celebration catalogue and the mini happening at the moment, it's still nice to play. So we've used soft suede, we've used mint macaron, and we've used Misty Moonlight. You can just see them just there at the top of the screen. I've used the Happy Birthday from Enjoy the Moment and the Sailing Home set. Okay, my blending brushes, because they're the best fun ever, and the Sailing Home dies. Okay, well, thank you all for joining me. It was good to see you. I'll just bring my phone back to me. You can have another look outside. And g'day. Oh, you've seen where I've been in my cupboard now. Thanks for all for joining me. I will see you next week for Hooray, it's Thursday, and we'll see what we can do. If anyone's got any special requests, if I've got the stamp set, I'm more than happy to have a play with it, but that's okay, Karen. It doesn't matter that you just tuned in. You can always watch on replay. It'll be back up on Facebook shortly, and in about a week it'll be on my YouTube channel. All right, so all good. I'll also do, once I've got it up on the YouTube channel, I'll also do a supplies list in case anybody wants to see what I've used. They'll be able to click on a button and be able to see those. For those people living in Australia, you'll even be able to purchase them straight from the link. Okay, I will catch up with you all later. See ya.